Hello, everyone. Good to see you again.
Hi.
It's good to be back at the movies. Hope you've gone out to the movies.
Indeed it is.
It's a good time out of the movies.
Yes.
Today, Grandma went to see Star Wars: The Last Jedi,
Yay.
which, if you're keeping count, is the 8th Star Wars movie. And as many of these Star Wars movies go, all of our characters from sort of the previous movie get involved in all sorts of different sort of stories, and their different stories all come together at the end, and a big sort of climax.
Follow each character as they.
Yes, so they have sort of different, unique sort of stories going on, and in this particular one, Rey, played by Daisy Ridley, who we were introduced to in the last film, has gone off to find Luke Skywalker, who's been sort of out in isolation on an island on a planet, and try to convince him to come back and help. And then Finn, who we were also introduced to in the last film, he links up with another character, and the two of them go off to try to find somebody on this other planet who can break them into the First Order, the bad guys' big plane or spaceship, I should say, and blow it up. And so they're off doing their thing, and then Princess Leia, who's leading the Resistance, is off doing her thing, and so it's all these different stories all coming together.
Yes.
What did you think, Grandma?
I thought it was wonderful. It was very exciting. The actors did their parts very well. Particularly impressed with the young lady who plays Rey.
Daisy Ridley.
She went through quite a bit of emotional turmoil.
She was in Murder on the Orient Express, if you'll recall.
I thought she looked familiar. Yes.
The last film that we saw.
Yes.
So I'm sorry to interrupt. Go ahead.
And of course, Finn and his colleague, they did a really good job too. They were so convincing. You know, they believed in the Resistance, and they were willing to risk everything for it. The power, the Force is with you, was quite obvious in this episode. How much of a difference it made. The good Force and the bad Force. And it was very, very well done. Of course, the special effects are fabulous, as a Star Wars movie of this magnitude would be, whether they were out in space with multiple little fires fighting around or on the ground. It was all very well done. The lightsabers were cool. I always like the lightsabers. They're cool. What did you think?
Oh, I thought it was, again, very well done as well. Again, I think that unlike the last film that was, the Star Wars world is sort of pretty well established, but again, the last one, because of the new characters and sort of new situations, they spent a lot of time sort of setting it up and who people were, what they were doing, and then sort of where they were going and all that sort of stuff. And so that's a whole sort of different narrative than this one, which again, I think sort of picked up, sort of right where it left off and got off on a much faster pace. It got going really quickly and didn't wait around. You didn't have to set things up, I don't think, quite so much. Again, one thing that I thought that you were maybe getting to a little bit with the actors is that they were able to, again, really convince you. I mean, this is a science fiction fantasy, but convince you of the world and convince you of the motivations and the situations that these people were in and what they were trying to accomplish. Right. And it's one thing for the special effects and the set design and the director and everything like that to all sort of make it all seem realistic. The different creatures and the places and the different spaceships that they had going on. It's another thing for the actors to make the situation seem real to you.
Unbelievable.
Yes, and again,
this actually
yes,
could
and
be
again,
happening.
again, that's partly again where they got going quickly. They hit the ground running with this film. That is, that's the way it was written and the way that the actors sort of carried it out. I thought
They hit the ground running.
It worked again very, very well.
Went forward.
And again, you sort of always wonder, where are these sort of films going? Where is it? And again, you didn't really know in this one. You didn't know how it was going to end. You didn't know quite what was going to go on. And I was quite happy with it and satisfied. What was your rating be, Grandma?
Oh, 2 thumbs up, definitely. I agree with the other reviewers that I have read that this is maybe the best of the Star Wars movies. Well, certainly at the top.
One of the best.
Yeah, one of the best.
Again, very, very well made, and I would definitely recommend it to anybody out there.
You bet.
It would again.
I look forward to episode 9.
I do too. I mean, now again, whether you've seen any of these Star Wars films or not,
doesn't make a difference.
Well, it sort of does in this case. I was about to say.
You might want to watch 7 before you.
It would help to find out a little bit, I think, about the characters and such ahead of time to understand where it's going.
And who's
but
related
if
to
you
who?
do, then you're fine.
The relationships are important. They are.
Yes.
So 2 thumbs up. Enjoy it.
Okay. I'll even give it a thumb up.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, good for you.